The conversation about student loan debt is ramping up right now. Biden has paused payments restarting for a sixth time through September, just continuously kicking the can down the road now 6 times. Like, I'm convinced he's going to keep doing this until after the midterms, and then maybe he'll begin to consider canceling student debt.
Hey,
maybe.
Keep it rolling.
Fine if that's the case, because for some reason he perceives student loan debt as a political liability, student loan debt cancellation rather, even though it's just the right thing to do. But there are a lot of Fox News geriatric viewers who feel like, I had to pay my student loans when my tuition was $700 a semester, and so you've got to do it too. And so here is Bill Hemmer on Fox News quoting a Wall Street Journal op-ed about student loan debt, appealing to that very audience that Biden is, I think, in my opinion, not rightfully afraid of.
Thank you. It is quite baffling to think that this is actually happening. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writing today, student loan forbearance forever. The progressives are demanding that President Biden forgive at least $50,000 per borrower by executive order. This would be an even bigger usurpation of Congress's power of the purse. What a way to stick it to Americans who didn't attend college or who have diligently repaid their loans.
Mm-hmm. Of which you're one. Of which I'm one.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
And as we said yesterday, how many people are watching right now?
Yeah, I would love to have Bernie Sanders come on and explain to us and talk to us about why he thinks that all student loan debt should be canceled and how that could help the Democrats in the future as well.
And if the president punted this decision yet again, at what point is he going to say, okay, time to start paying?
Well, he wanted to do it in December, but he keeps getting pushed by the left.
Okay.
So it's going to continue.
So they're also news anchors, might make it a little bit easier for them to repay their loans. I don't know what their salary is.
Or whenever they graduated college.
Yeah, and Dana Perino also had some other parts of her career that might have made it a little her purse a little bit fatter. She wanted to repay her student loans, but like all of this pressure from the left that they're talking about, which he still has not caved to, by the way. I mean, here's Dana Perino again. This is the pressure that I think that they're actually seeing more of. Is the blowback from right-wing and centrist
that if you hold
no, it's okay. Right-wing and centrist anchors like this, and lawmakers and policymakers and bankers who really don't want this to happen. Here's Jen Psaki fielding a question from Dana Perino, who seems to be making this her hobby horse.
That if you hold student loan debt right now, that you will ever have to make a payment during the Biden administration.
I suspect that sometime you will, but again, we are going to continue to assess every month, every few months on where things stand, both looking, of course, at COVID, but also economic data and where we need to continue to help give the American people some breathing room.
So speaking of COVID,
so she's saying, don't worry, Fox News crowd, there will be payment that's starting again for your grandchildren. Don't worry, you won't have to worry about them not having the same exact experience as you, because like a lot of conservatives do, they perceive like their individual life experience and in any way that they struggled as character building that has to be discipline. It uses discipline for the generation below them.
The important thing about this is to step back and ask the question, where did student loans come from and why is there such a giant mass of debt in student loans right now? It's because America as a country decided, instead of granting people education like other countries do, and have it be just something we invest in and not need even the return on the investment back for the bankers, is that we just think it's a good thing society should have. In America, we basically determined in like the 60s and 70s that we can't just have a whole population of educated people that don't owe it or don't owe it to capitalists to break their back to work. So we created a system where student loans were financialized and put kids starting at like age 17, 18 into a lifetime of debt so they'd have to work for a corporation. This was a conscious decision to control the educated labor force. If you want to do something for kids that didn't go to college, one thing you could do is make college more affordable, so it's not they're not price discriminated out of college. You could also give them health care and all sorts of different things like that, like things that they actually need, as opposed to just like as opposed to what like all these people, Perino and the right and even sort of corporate Democrats, what they want from the government now is for Joe Biden to pull the coerce workers button. And that's why they want student loans to get reinstituted, because that means, okay, I got to pay this, $400, $700 more dollars a month now. I got to go work for this shitty restaurant that it doesn't want to pay me a living wage. And like that's the problem. And so I am glad that in the midst of still a pandemic, but also just a horrible economic situation for folks, that they're not forced. I mean, I'm surprised, frankly, that the Biden administration hasn't caved yet so far, but I think it's a really good thing and should be applauded.
Yeah, I mean, they should just cancel it now.
They should, yeah. But I mean, look, if this is the next best thing, and
if they do cancel it, though, if they do cancel it.
But even in the meantime, like it's been first of all, Trump started it, right? That's another thing we should point out. So thanks for that, Trump. And it should be continued this way, because it has done materially good things already, just not having people have to pay student loans for this like past couple of years.
It's mostly a way to discipline the workforce, as you say, but it's also a way to like preserve certain class stratification. Upper middle class is people, and upper class people, they're defined by their ability to send their kids to college without loans or with minimal loans. And it protects them.
And all these people like that say, well, what about the people that don't go to college? Again, take care of their needs. Make sure that housing is within reach.
This isn't a zero-sum game. It's ridiculous.
But I do think like there's all these debts. We need to start talking about wide, broad spread jubilee, because I do think there's a problem when it does. Like whether you're a person who has 100,000 in student loan debt, or if you're a trucker who has 100,000 of truck debt, or if you're a cab driver, whatever, like these sorts of debts, we've over financialized the economy to such a disgusting extent. And it's time for people who have expected to just get passive income out of investing into necessities like education. Like you shouldn't be, education should not be a place that investors look for a return on investment. And I think like, what really needs to happen is the people that make passive income, they need to start sacrificing. Then we just start taking their money, and this would be a great way to start.
Yeah,
and except the student loans are paid to the government, which is just insane.